Anybody still thinking about Dragon Quest 1? I've been playing Dragon Quest 1 a lot. What we are going to be doing is being a level 1 hero and trying to see if you can go from the beginning area over to the final area of the game. It's honestly not that long, but there are plenty of fearsome foes along the way, so it is bound to be an exciting journey on this episode of I Play a Video Game and You Sometimes Watch, and always leave nice comments because you guys are always very nice. But I'm also game if you want to give me constructive criticism because I'm trying to improve the way I make videos and I'd appreciate your input. Please enjoy this production. 3 hours of edited footage, me just sitting in front of a CR television. It's not actually CR television, it's CRT television. And then a 45-minute rant edited into something that is hopefully viewable and maybe even enjoyable. Please enjoy yourselves and have a nice night.
Combi, though, always obtrusive, always welcome to be obtrusive. We love that Combi. The whole reason why I wanted to do this was because I wanted to erase probably fart, and we're gonna name ourselves Chris Whack. It's supposed to be Christopher Walken's. I bet I could make it through the map with a lot of healing items. I need all your herbs, sir. Ready, set, and go. We've made it to the bog. Every single time we step in one of these bog tiles, it will hurt us for 2 damage. So let's see if I can count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a heal now. And here we go. I know exactly where we're going, even though we're in the inky abyss of sadness and darkness. Even though we have a magician who's gonna attack us. We're fine. We can run. No. We cannot get hit whipped. We cannot get hit by the spell hurt. We cannot be doing this right now. And you can't block us again, okay? Run away. Oh, thank God. Okay. We're going to use not a spell. We are going to use an herb just in case. Okay, and then the next thing we're going for is we're trying to hear no, druid, no. Holy shit, that guy did 8 damage. We need to hear a couple very specific thud sound effects so I can do this correctly. So here we go. We are fine. Yeah, we need to use it. We are actually super, super close to the castle. We may actually make it farther. Uh-oh. Okay. Run. Yes. Okay, we may. No. Please, Mandrake. No. Please, no. Oh. See, as soon as we get past there, just like that, ladies and gentlemen and folks and friends, that took me only 3 minutes and 54 seconds. Oh yeah, we're super dead. Yeah, that's sad. We have proven that we can just use the run function and have a good time. We could do some globe trotting and just explore without even grinding or anything. You know, the joys of exploration are not completely attached and integrated into the grinding of this game. Exploring doesn't always mean grinding for Dragon Quest.
Wow. Look at you right there. You've made it to the end of the video. Guess what? I have a lot more to say. Okay, so this may be a little bit of a tangent, but there's this really good scene in Andor, the 2022 Disney Plus original show. Here, let me pull it up. Old and true and sturdy, one of the best navigational tools ever built. Once you've mastered it, you're free. There's a growing list of things we've known and forgotten, things they've pushed us to forget, things like freedom. I mean, first of all, it's a really good show. I put that quote in this video just so I can say that they're gonna come out with the 2nd season soon, and I'm personally just pretty stoked about that. I'm fascinated by this idea that old technology equals freedom. I'm less interested in terms of like the contemporary state of technology in general. I'm more interested in using this sort of methodology and comparing it to contemporary video games and contemporary video game hardware. If we're looking between like SNES to Nintendo 64 or like Sega Saturn to Sega Dreamcast, like there are so many games that are so uniquely different because everybody was trying to put a stake in all of these new forms of technology and say that this is the way that we should be utilizing this technology. People have really latched onto this idea of the open world game because it is like supposed to be the biggest thing you've ever experienced, the peak in which video games have to offer, and people are really latching onto that idea because technology has stagnated in terms of video games. Between the past console generation and the current console generation, PS4 to PS5, old Xbox to new Xbox, nothing's really changed. But like the jump from 2D to 3D brought so much creativity because it fundamentally revamped how video game creation was even thought of. In addition to that, like when you have so much video game history and so many profit margins to refer to, so many games that are successful to refer to, people are going to try to recreate that success when it's worked so many times. And saying that, oh, they should just do what indie games are doing, indie game devs are doing, that like it's not going to land very much power because they really aren't going to turn away from money. I believe that indie game devs are so much better because every project that they work on is based on the love of game design. Since they don't have the giant hardware or the giant budget to create giant games, they're going to create new and interesting games in the way they can, which is by reinventing old concepts and looking at previous games, not in terms of how much money they made, but in terms of how the design of those games made them feel. Like you could tell that there's a lot of emotion put into indie games because there's love there, a genuine love, or even a genuine dislike. Like, oh, this game dev hated this aspect of Harvest Moon so much that they decided to create their own Harvest Moon game, and that was Stardew Valley, which is one of the biggest games ever. But you don't just get another Stardew Valley by recreating Stardew Valley. That's lightning in a bottle. So what am I trying to say? Retro games were made under strict hardware limitations, and those limitations galvanized developers to focus on design. My idea is designing games in the past is comparable to how indie games are designed now. Let me elaborate more on the constraints put on Dragon Quest I because it can really be comparable to the constraints put on indie game devs. Dragon Quest I was brainstormed from the foundation built by advanced computer role-playing games. Creating games like Wizardry and Ultima was believed to be only possible with advanced computing power of PCs at the time. Yuji Horii saw the possibility to open the genre up for wider audiences on the NES. He programmed something simpler with more guts. He believed that he could make a great game with limited hardware, and he did. So how was Dragon Quest better than games at the time, and how is it better than games of the current generation? Well, let me tell you. All Dragon Quest I requires is a little bit of patience. Once you get into that groove, all you'll be left with is intrigue. Akira Toriyama's wonderfully strange art style emanates and exemplifies that childlike appreciation of bedtime stories with those whimsical and silly monsters. Childlike things are unique. Children are unique and weird, and that's wonderful. Each monster design is amazing and mostly distinct, lest us forget the difference between blue slime and red slime. The visual uniqueness of all these different enemies are thematically consistent throughout everything that's put into these enemies. Like the math, the way that sleep hits a wyvern compared to how it hits a soldier is completely different. Sometimes it's your hurt spell that will hit 100% of the time and do more damage to certain enemies, or sometimes you have to just use the normal attack and that'll do more damage. All of that effort really puts a veil over the player in how they sort of approach all these monsters. It really makes you start thinking about how you want to approach battles. It's not just hit the attack button over and over and over. You gotta think about how you want to approach a new enemy. You start hyper focusing on any sort of similarity, visual or otherwise, that may be between enemies, so you can anticipate when you find a new enemy, are they going to be weak to sleep? Is it going to be worth starting off your turn with a spell stop? When you think about a game, it's won you over. That, like, it's all said and done, you're gonna love that game. If you're doubting me when I say how much math is behind this game, I will link the formula guide for this game in the description. It's on GameFAQs, and it outlines every spell and how it affects every enemy, and how every enemy spell affects you, and every little juicy segment of math works. It's all there. And I just, oh man, it's all so interesting to me. I haven't even talked about the dialogue in this game, and that's one of the strongest parts. The necessity for the dialogue to paint an accurate picture of what this world looks, feels, and sounds like. It's there. Everything that is intriguing about knights and dragons and medieval RPG type games, it's all there. It's just a little bit more understated. And most of the townspeople will politely prompt you to be like, maybe there's that cave over there. And they won't even say it in that way. They'll say it more like, oh man, I remember when Erdrick was wandering the lands and he had this special lair that he'd go back to, and oh man, I thought I heard my cousin say it was to the north somewhere, so I don't know. I'm just having a conversation with you right now. Totally normal. It's not just go to this place and do this thing. It's all in the world. It's all presented in an interesting way. A process performed by the writers and how they sort of slowly and gently reveal that information is just masterful. Like, there's a lot of love in this game. It's ruminating with love. It's a great game. It's a good game. Much like the townspeople, the game doesn't railroad you at all. It doesn't say, oh, you have to go to this town first. You can go wherever you want. The only thing that sort of prevents you from doing anything is being too low of a level. And even then, we've sort of examined that belief and decided that you can kind of just run away from really difficult battles to some extent, and you can't break these sorts of rules set in place by Dragon Warrior 1, but you can bend them a little bit and create unique adventures for yourself. I am always entertained and inspired by almost every retro game that I play, even when they have pretty evident shortcomings. Play the NES. I think that's that's the moral of this video. Play Solar Jetman. Also Dragon Warrior 1, but Solar Jetman is a really good game. It's just so good. Dragon Warrior is complete. And this video is complete. I think I've said everything that I need to say about why this game is fantastic. It all goes back to the walking. I'm losing some steam. I didn't even drink an energy drink before this recording. So man, this has to show you a little bit that all of my ranting and all of my passion in my voice is all true. It's genuine. It's all there. And now this video is complete. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
This is a good shot. We're just gonna play through the entire game in the reflection of this Soul Surfer. I'm sorry, the production value on this video is very low right now. I can only see the slow movement of light going through phosphates or something, I don't know. CRTs are weird. There may be something wrong with how I put this lens on. I am really silly right now. Well, now you can't even see the game. Oh, you can see some text right there. Where's the middle of the screen? I'm so confused. I think that's me. I mean, it's pretty cool how the color of the screen is actually affecting the shot dramatically. We actually want this to be visible so I can talk about the gameplay of this, and then we'll go from there. I do think the small change in sprite when you get a sword and when you get a shield is actually very cute. Like, it was that sort of thing that really did put Dragon Quest as a cut above the rest, because that level of detail, like in terms of clothing, does actually carry in the new games. In Dragon Quest 11 and Dragon Quest 9, my two faves, you have different clothing options, and they're like cosmetic and they change constantly. Not constantly more for Dragon Quest 9, but it's a nice little attention to detail type thing that I really don't want to take for granted. But yeah, let's go on another adventure, because I know I am sure like I'll have plenty of health without any herbs to just go to like this cool town. I actually don't know if I will, but we might as well just check, because we're already on our way, and we've gotten some good no encounters RNG. So I'm feeling really nervous about this globe trotting I'm about to do, because when you got herbs, you can get anywhere, but when you're running by your lonesome with not an herb in sight, It's really bad. Ooh, are we gonna get some more? Ah, dang it, that you didn't heard that bonk sound effect. You didn't hear that, only I did. No, Mandrake, no, bad. Just like that, we've made it to this town. I forget what it's called. It's the village of Cole. Oh, wait. I think the village of Cole is maybe the 3rd town in the game, actually. 4th, if I'm being super generous. So maybe it's not super cool that you can just walk all the way over here, but it's decently cool. It's not like super cool, but it's like decently cool. All right, like take. No, there's nothing to take here, Chris Whack. Oh, that is just a hilarious thing. How much is an instay? It has to not be that much, right? Like 2 gold. Please, I'm a poor boy. Nobody loves me. Give me room and board. $20 is so messed. Why $20? Why $20? I don't think there's anything else that's really cool I can do here since I don't have any money. Just like in real life, if you don't have any money, then you can't go to stores and you can't do cool things. You know, we should make all bowling alleys free. I want to be able to do recreational bowling for $0. It should just be a free thing. Yeah, I am broke as shit. I don't think we can do anything. I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm like soft locked in a place that's indifferent to my existence. Wow.